After the Niners made their pick, Ricky Pearsall out of Florida by way of Arizona State. He's an Arizona kid. Your wide receiver in the first round, 31st overall. We're going to get into it. I was a bit stunned, but the football people say this guy can play. The football people says this guy can separate. The football people say he can high point the football. So will he be playing alongside Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel? Still things on the table for the 49ers. We'll get all into it as we say good morning to everybody out there getting off the graveyard shift on the overnight dancers, baby. We got new money in town. New money in town. It's a payday Friday. Bay Area Friday, 50 Cent Friday, all that stuff. Shout out to YouTube and Twitch, brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal First Class Money Market today. You can now download the Odyssey app directly from our YouTube and Twitch pages as we have added the QR code on both pages. And shout out to the Xfinity Mobile text line. And you better come correct today. Because you know what happens by way of our friends at Florida Water Plumbing and Drain. If you're going to call it to the roast, you got to bring it, because if you don't, you hear that sound, you're going to get flushed. Like BPA out there somewhere.
So the other day, you and I were breaking down wide receivers. I had written all these notes on all these wide receivers, and we were talking about X players, guys who can line up on the outside and be the number one receiver and would be right up on that line of scrimmage and getting pressed. And I remember as we were doing that exercise, when we were going through some of the smaller guys, Ladd McConkey, Xavier Worthy, and I stopped on Ricky Pearsall, and I said to you, B, if they move Ayuk, I don't want them to replace him with this guy, but I could see where this guy would be a really good fit in this offense. And here's what I wrote down, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Athletic, vertical, short shuttle stuff. I see Edelman, Jerry Jeudy, but he actually catches the ball. 80% success rate in the slot when I dig through the numbers. Rugged player, adjusts well to the ball, makes a lot of twisting catches. 55 of his 63 targets he caught were in that intermediate, meaning 10 yards downfield in the middle of traffic. The guy stretches the field. A lot of these long, deep crossers and digs that Shanahan loves. If you're building an offense for Brock Purdy, Pearsall's a weapon that I think looks really nice.
Look, he's got a lot of experience playing in the college game, whether it's Arizona State or Florida, over 2,400 receiving yards. First year of Florida wasn't as successful, but this last year really seemed to put it together. Everything you said there, high point in the football, separating at the line of scrimmage. Now, jamming it, from some of the videos there, if you get physical with him, he's got to get stronger.
I would agree.
He's got to get hit in the NFL weight room, which I think he'll be fine. Hit the NFL weight room, getting a little stronger, getting his nutrition right. He was a big-time playmaker for Florida. And, look, I didn't know if they were going to draft him in the first round. I didn't know what his value was. But all the guys, whether it's Nick Saban, whether it's Joel Klatt, whether it's Daniel Jeremiah, whether it's C.J. Stroud, a lot of people who are in the game of football. Brian Baldinger, he'll join us on Monday at 7:30. You don't want to miss that, as he'll break this pick down. He loves Pearsall's game, calls him a tough guy. And in Shanahan's offense, we've yet to see the slot receiver just truly pop. They tried it with Kendrick Bourne, not your quintessential slot receiver. Trent Taylor, we know what happened there. We know what happened with Richie James Jr. Danny Gray hasn't been able to get on the field. Ronnie Bell, look, I think there's some hope for him, but this guy can play in the slot, that legit slot receiver, in and out quickness. His 10-yard code drill was great. The times were great. And then more importantly, you talk about the catches and everything like that.
Yeah, the body control is really good.
Yeah, it was like he has like a 3.5, 3.7 drop rate, which is very, very good. He doesn't drop the football at all.
Good. I'd be remiss if I didn't say, like, the whole time I'm thinking, all right, what's Jacksonville going to do? What's Pittsburgh going to do? Are they going to trade? Is this a spot? Is this a spot? Is this a spot? Now, who knows? Something might happen. I still believe the Niners are going to make another selection for a wide receiver. I don't know if they're going to trade one or both. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Ayuk and Deebo. I really don't. I still think Washington's in play. I think New England's in play. I think Carolina's in play. I think teams that have a plethora of day two picks, second and third round picks, I still believe for one of the receivers, they're in play. And I would not be surprised if the Niners select another wide receiver. And that people's heads might explode, but right. I don't know. I think things are still in play.
Oh, no. Do people feel like it was a reach? 888-957-9570. Because when the pick happened, Baby Chance was jumping up and down in bed.
Yeah.
And
I was holding my little guy.
Yeah, and it was just in a room. And I was like, guys, Niners picking. And
it's me
okay,
all
Niners
night.
picking. They're jumping around.
I did it for like 2 hours. Michelle, leave me alone. Niners are going to pick soon.
I'm playing hide and seek during the NFL draft. Go figure. Times have changed.
Well, but did you win?
What do you mean?
Hide and go seek.
Oh, I mean, I always find them, but, I always play stupid boo with a fool. Where are they? Where are they at? And then you hear Chester, she's always laughing.
All you see is like a leg sticking out underneath the desk.
You see a little leg, and all you hear is a laugh, and like, okay,
That's
she's right
funny.
there. But anyway,
funny.
it's all fun. But the Niners picked, and my initial reaction was like, what the hell? Ricky Pearsall? I don't remember talking about this guy. I kept hearing about Mitchell and Worthy and, the kid from LSU who was compared to Brandon Ayuk. Was Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. Who went to Jacksonville.
Who
wanted Ayuk.
The one team that wanted Ayuk, but they got their Brandon Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they watched that LSU pro day and Trip Balky. Oh, he buys us a Brandon Ayuk. So maybe we don't have to trade Brandon Ayuk.
Because, Balky farted.
Oh, yeah.
And then said, excuse me.
Excuse me. Which is very classy of him. Very classy. But look, man.
It's classy of him to fart at a podium and say, excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
you.
You
didn't
so
have
much.
to be
Were
rude.
you surprised?
What do you want him just to fart, just not say anything?
Better out than in.
So were you surprised at this player, at the position that he plays?
I'm surprised at this player.
Okay.
This player.
Why?
Because Mitchell was on the board, and I thought Donnie Mitchell, especially after Xavier Worthy got selected. And there was a lot of hype about Xavier Leggett from South Carolina, who ends up going to Carolina.
I didn't love him as much as others.
I didn't love him either.
1 year wonder.
I didn't love him either.
Yeah.
But Pearsall I thought second round, maybe third round. I was a little stunned by it. But look, man, my philosophy is this. If you love a player like the Raiders,
totally agree.
They love Brock Bowers, go ahead, take Brock Bowers. Best player available. Go fix your off. Now you got Brock Bowers, Devontae Adams, Meyer. You got an offense that can cook.
Zero
Go double
quarterbacks.
tight end. Yeah, you get a quarterback. Spencer Rattler's coming. Spencer Rattler.
He does fit the Raider mold.
Come on.
Swashbuckling his way up into the AFC West.
I'll say this. I'd rather have Spencer Rattler and try to develop him as opposed to J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix,
I'm with
who
you
went
on
in the
that.
top 10.
Sean Payton's already on the hot
top
seat.
12. I mean,
Sean
come on.
Payton, this fraud.
It
reminded me of the Patrick Mahomes draft because we were going to draft Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs jumped in front of us many years ago. Dog, you didn't take him. You were obsessed with Taysom Hill. Like what? What?
Well, the draft is just fascinating. The draft, there's so many things happening in the NFL draft that I want to get to here. Last night, you had records getting broke left and right when it came to quarterbacks. 6 quarterbacks got selected in the first 12 picks.
How many you think, forget the players that I don't want the names. How many will actually stay with their team 5 years from now? 2?
Caleb. I like Caleb the most.
Okay, you're going to actually name them. Okay.
I'm not sure about Jay Daniels in Washington. I want to see it.
I do too.
And he's got Dan Quinn as a head coach. I don't know. I don't know. Who's Washington's OC? Cliff Kingsbury? Oh, gosh. I'm not a fan of that.
I like Cliff as an OC.
Yeah, I don't know if I do. And then number 3, Drake May goes to New England.
Just immediately when I saw him, I was like, bro.
I go back to Kirk Morrison. Kirk Morrison said, look, man, I went out to Chapel Hill. I called the game. I was not impressed.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I've never been impressed.
If there's a team, an organization outside of Sean Payton who I am fading more in the NFL right now, I'm telling you.
It's the Patriots.
I watched that Dynasty doc, and I can't get it through my head. When I hear Bob Kraft's kids sit there and pretend like he was the reason for success, not Belichick, not Brady, it was Bob Kraft's kid who had nothing to do with it. Are you kidding me? And he is running things now?
Right.
That's an organization that might be a dumpster fire for 2 decades.
You had the wow factor in Michael Penix Jr. getting selected by the Atlanta Falcons. Did not see that coming. Kirk Cousins didn't see it coming. He's telling everybody, every reporter possible, yeah, I'm surprised by this. I was not tipped off by this. So now all of a sudden we got drama in Atlanta after he got $100 million guaranteed. I saw somebody tweet said, you better work on Tuesday.
Well, it's kind of ironic. Yeah, I think I put that in the thread too. It's kind of ironic that Kirk Cousins was drafted the same night RG3 was drafted, and that took RG3 by surprise. Yep. And then many years later, he gets surprised in this way. So I guess what they say, what comes around goes around.
We don't know about that one. So you got that. You got Michael Penix Jr. going 8th to Atlanta. You have J.J. McCarthy going 10 to the Vikings.
Didn't like that at all because the Vikings gave up all their picks.
Up. Yeah, they had 3 picks in 2025.
Did you hear that
noise? 1 first-round pick and 2 fifth-round picks.
The noise of Justin Jefferson slamming his phone and saying, get me the hell on out of here.
He's gone. He's so gone.
I'm so upset.
I mean, is that like the number one? Like, how can I bet on that?
J.J. McCarthy, and then you get the Bo Nix. They're going to get people fired. I mean, it's just straight up. Sean Payton might as well put his house. Listen, Sean Payton might as well put his house on sale in Eagle County, Colorado, wherever the hell he is, Denver, Colorado, whatever suburb he's in. the Minnesota Vikings brass. And I like Kevin O'Connell. I like him as a head coach. I do with Minnesota.
I do too.
Your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. Like he hitched your wagon to J.J. McCarthy.
Days are numbered.
Think about that. I watching Michigan
so you
football
watch
this
Michigan
year.
a lot.
We all do.
He reminds me of Alex Smith.
That's what they said on the draft.
Yeah, no, but that's what he reminds me of.
And I don't even see that.
Well, I see it because he just looks lackluster.
I mean,
he threw 34 fourth quarter passes.
Yeah.
How's that? Like how?
I mean,
well, it's a Harbaugh offense.
I watched. It's a Harbaugh offense. Was at the Rose Bowl. I didn't think there was anything special with him. Especially coming into the year, I was like, okay, 3rd round pick, maybe a 4th round pick. He goes in the 1st round, top 10 pick. So 6 quarterbacks go in the first 12 picks, matching the total that went in the 1st round of the famed 1983 quarterback draft class. 6.
And there's no way it's going to replicate that class.
No.
I'm sorry. It's the greatest outlier of all time.
I don't see it happening.
No, and here's the other thing that I keep thinking about too. And you were talking about it like, it's an offensive league. It's an offensive league. 14 consecutive picks going offense. Yep. There's no doubt about that, B. But
it's not just offense. I should have clarified it. Scott was basically like, dude, it's like 70-30, 80-20 offense now. Like, that wins games. You got to have offense. So you see the philosophy in the draft here, as you just mentioned, 14 picks, first 14 picks, all offense.
So I want to get to Shanahan here. Now, I have no idea what they're going to do with Debo and Ayuk. I still think those things are on the table. I got no idea. I still think even if they keep those guys, they might draft another wide receiver early here. But I do believe they're going to be a player today. They're going to move up, move back. They're going to do something on day 2. This is their wheelhouse here. I have a hard time not thinking that Shanahan, and there's 2 elements to this. There's the Super Bowl that I know you want to get into. But when Shanahan looks at wide receiver film, why do I feel like he looks at himself in certain players?
Well, he said that yesterday.
Oh, did he?
His presser.
I didn't hear that.
Because he said
I felt like watching Ricky Pearsall, I'm like, this is a guy Shanahan's going to love because he thinks that he sees himself in Ricky Pearsall.
So David Lombardi had the tweet yesterday, and I saw it. I chuckled because I didn't know if it was a real tweet or what.
Well, David Lombardi's tweeting everything. The probability of this happening now is 1%. Like, Dave, put the phone down for 6 seconds. It's okay.
Shanahan, his evaluation of 49ers first-round pick, Ricky Pearsall. He reminds me of myself.
Oh, no,
except a lot faster, with much better hands, and can jump. So I don't know if he was being facetious there.
Steph Curry reminds me of Joe Shasky, except for the fact he's 6'3", the greatest shooter of all time, and he's an NBA player with,
I don't know.
Elite golf game.
No, I don't know. I would love to hear that.
That's hilarious.
I would love to hear that sound because I don't know if Shanahan was being serious, but that's a real quote. That is a real quote. So let's go to the lines. I'm going to get Niner fans in here. How do you feel about the pick? Was it a reach? Were you expecting Slick Ricky Pearsall, who played against Brock Purdy in high school? White Boy Rick. You could call.
Isn't that a movie?
Yeah, it is a movie. I'm not going to call him White Boy Rick. I'll call him Slick Rick or Pretty Ricky.
Well, I heard him get addressed by his teammates that way.
Yeah, Slick Rick, Pretty Ricky. It's
Pretty
all
Ricky's
good.
not bad.
Or
Ricky.
He also brought
Ricky.
up
Boys in the Hood.
He also played against Brock Purdy in high school.
Yeah, Chandler.
Ricky Pearsall said, I think he put 70 on my team. Yeah. Brock Purdy out there. So.
And Purdy, I think, ran a couple in.
And here's the other kicker. Ricky Pearsall said he only met with the Niners at the Senior Bowl.
Oh.
Didn't even bring him in for a visit, so he said he was shocked to see San Francisco on his phone. They stayed away. They did their work. They didn't want to tip their head. They did this with Mike McGlinchey, too.
I like this pick. Because to me, playmakers building around the quarterback,